Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast, Inside Polling. And by the way, happy Friday. Let's not forget that. Is it possible we can take a break for a weekend on politics? Ooh, I'm not sure. Um, but enjoy the weekend. Let's hopefully we can take a break for a couple days. If not, listen, if the polls are out there, I'm going to be back here and I'll feed you information on the weekend. But if not, we'll take a break. We'll come back Monday. We'll load you right back up and we'll get started again. And by then, week to go. Can you imagine Monday when we come back? A week to go. Woo! Sometimes it feels like a long time. Sometimes it feels really short, but it's going to be interesting. I think the couple points we want to make yet today is: are there two more states in play? I know, right? Let's back up. Let's back up for those first time listeners. First of all, thank you for listening on X. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Continue to share it with your friends, share it with your family. There's a share button there on YouTube. Hit subscribe, thumbs up. We'll take anything you can give us. Um, but what do we do down here? We go down the middle. We bash both sides. We hit the Republicans, we hit the Democrats. We tell you exactly the way the polls are, where they've been, where the momentum is. I don't tell you who's going to win. In my opinion, really doesn't matter. It's important for you to get the facts and where things stand today. So we talk about the 7 battleground states. You guys probably think about it and dream about them now, and we all know what they are. I think it's important to remember something. In 2016, Hillary won 2.5%, 2.6% in the popular vote and lost, but like so close on the electoral vote. Biden picked up points nationally and got to around 4 points. Those 7 states, Trump won. Do I have this right? 6 out of 7. Just lost Nevada. He won Michigan, won Wisconsin, won Pennsylvania, won North Carolina, won Georgia, won Arizona, and lost Nevada. But what did Biden do? The percentage points in the national go up to 4. That brings in more states. He flips it, wins 6 out of 7. The only one he lost, North Carolina. Now, why do I even go through all that? Well, with Harris's numbers sitting at 4 before, right around the debate time, after the post debate, excuse me, dropping to 2, now dropping to 1.5. I think 538 now has her at 1.4. Now, remember, they were about the highest for her. They bring in all the polls, which I think is fine. So, and it's okay to look at other Real Clear and 538 and some of the others. So we have 538 Harris with a 1.4 lead, lower than Clinton was, lower than Biden was. There's a theory out there, of course, that, hey, this is so tight that maybe Trump gains in California, gains in Texas, gains in some of the Democratic states, New York, Florida, more votes in Florida, right? Instead of winning by 1 or 2, you're winning by 8, 9, 10%. Well, what are we talking? Another million votes. It's possible that Trump is doing well in all these other states, including New York, Jersey, Connecticut, where I'm from, Rhode Island, maybe even Massachusetts. Is it possible that those numbers go up for him on a national side, but still can get clipped in the battleground? It's possible. But these are the theories we're all working for. But what I want to bring in is with Harris's numbers dropping, right? Real Clear now has Harris on a national poll, all the aggregate of all the average of all the polls, 0.1. 0.1. 538 has it, Harris 1.4. So what happens? We discussed it yesterday. This hits the undercard, right? Hits the Senate seats, hits the House seats, hits any kind of state reps you have running, state senators you have running, any state, any town councils you may have, or whatever you may have in your state. But what this also does, it starts to bleed in through some of these other states that not really battlegrounds, but could creep in if the number's high enough or low enough for Harris. Virginia, rumors. I have no polls to prove what I'm about to say. No polls. There are polls that are done by the parties. Rumors on the street is that Virginia is like a 2 to 3 point lead for Harris. What you don't want to do if you're Harris is have to guard the Virginias of the world and New Hampshires of the world. Virginia, you have Youngkin there as a governor who won that state as a Republican, but then got crushed in 22. You wouldn't think. I just mentioned these because let's see if a poll comes out. Trump is going back to Virginia, one of his last stops, just announced today. He's going to go back to Virginia. Just listen, you might as well throw a couple things out there just in case. Just in case. And New Hampshire, I've got a poll. Let's start at the top. We're going to go national, work our way to the towns. I'm going to probably show you a couple graphs. Actually, I may be even going to show you some poll numbers right now. Let's see. All right, here we go. So, see if I can even make this. That's going to be tough for you to see if you have some of you on your cell phones. If you're watching on TV, and I love, by the way, thanks for the comments of people watching this show on a 75-inch TV, 85-inch TV. I really appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to start at the top. You see there, New York Times has its final poll. New York Times and CNN, no more polls for them. This is the final poll. New York Times was Harris +3 in the last poll is now a tie. CNN, by the way, what's that? A gain of 3 points for Trump or a drop of 3 points for Harris. National poll from CNN, last poll from them. Harris was up by 1, is now a tie. Another drop by 1 for Harris on a national. 2 ties on a national level. Traditional polls, good polling companies. Love them or hate CNN, good polling company, just like Fox. They do a good job with the polls. New York Times, okay, steady. And if anything, we all know that these lean super left, both of these organizations, super left. So if you like Trump, you love these numbers. And if you're a Democrat, you're looking at this and wait a minute, my far left places where every reporter, everybody who works at this company is left, and I got tie and tie on a national level, not great news for Harris there. It continues another day. Now remember, we're talking about numbers from 4-5 days ago on the averages. This is not today's polls as of today or as of yesterday. These are a little bit older. They take a couple days and they snapshot it, and then they give us the poll numbers today. Rasmussen, right-leaning poll, had Trump +2, has now Harris +1. So here we go. Right-leaning poll, Rasmussen has Harris up by 1. That's a gain of 3 points on a national level from Rasmussen. Who's right? That's all we have for national. I'll give you the 538 number again. Harris up by 1.4. Run Real Clear, Harris up by 0.1. Those are all the polls that they accept. Real Clear accepts less polls in their averages. 538 accepts almost all polls. Let's get to the states. I've got that New Hampshire. I only have one state for you, New Hampshire. It's from a news organization, WHDH TV, and Emerson did a combo poll. Harris was up by 4 before. Now Harris up by 3. Why do I mention it? You get to that 3 range with 7 to 10 days to go. 3 could become 1 quickly. 3 can become 1 quickly. And then once the word gets out, the momentum goes, hey, who are you voting for? Hey, I switched my vote. Hey, I was going to go here, but I'm over here now. Things can happen quick. So, with all that, we've got those polls. Just as a note, LA Times and the Washington Post did not endorse a candidate. for the first time ever. Two far, far left newspapers, old school newspapers, are not endorsing a candidate. I don't know what that says, what that means. We all can think what that means. I'm not sure. Um, Going back to the averages, more time, Polymarket, which we've been watching, which is the betting site that you can put money on for who's going to win president, is now up to 64% chance for Trump to win, 36% for Harris. So the drop that we're seeing in the polls is coming out in the betting organizations. And don't forget, betting places are rarely wrong, but that's where people are putting their money. So it doesn't always mean they're right either. I want to show you, I'm going to throw up here. This is this day in history. Hold on, let me get my face out of there. So right here, this day in history in 20 and 16, and I just want to show you how things have changed. This is October 25th. National lead, Biden was up by 8 points. Clinton was up by 5 points. That's the national on Real Clear. Right now, Harris is up by 0.1. 8-point difference from Biden. Wisconsin, Biden was up by 5.5. Clinton was up by 6. Trump is now up by 0.2. Pennsylvania, Biden was up by 5. Clinton was basically up by 5. Ohio, think about that. Think about this. Ohio, which Trump may win by 8, 9, who knows how many points. Just 4 years ago, only had a lead in the polls, 0.6. In 16, Trump up by 1. Now it's showing 7 points. That's going to be a big number in Ohio. This is what I mean about Ohio being off so much. There you go. That's why the Senate seat is going to be hanging in the balance for Democrats. That's worrisome. Ohio, I've said it every single show, polls down for Republicans. Just doesn't show the numbers for Republicans. Don't know why. They underestimate it. Republicans there. Michigan, Biden was up by 9. Clinton was up by 10. Arizona, Biden was up by 2.2. Clinton was up by 1.5. Nevada, Biden was up by 5. Clinton was up by 4. North Carolina, Biden was up by 1. Clinton was up by 2. Georgia, Biden was basically up by 1. In 16, Georgia, Trump was up by 3. In Florida, 4 years ago, pre-COVID, Biden was up by 1.8. Clinton, 8 years ago, was up by 2.4. Trump's numbers, 8.4 right now. What's that? A 10-point swing? Yeah. 10-point swing. 10-point swing in 4 years. Think about Florida. Off the map, red. Let's get you your state averages, which you basically just saw. Pennsylvania, Trump up by 0.6. North Carolina, 0.8. Georgia, 2.2. Arizona, Trump 1.5. Wisconsin, still to 0.2. Michigan, Trump 0.2. Those are basically even. Nevada, Trump 0.7. So we got basically a tie in Pennsylvania, a tie in North Carolina, a tie in Wisconsin, a tie in Michigan, and a tie in Nevada. I do have. Oh, you know what? I got that generic question. I just want to bring you real quick. Let me bring this up on the stage here. This is the question that I've been talking to you about, which is Republican or Democrat in your congressional seat. It's a generic question. Remember, doesn't mean, I got Jim and Jane going against each other. No, it's just, hey, in your congressional seat, if you had a Republican running and a Democrat running, who are you going to vote for? And if you can see this map, blue right here is Harris, okay? Or back then, Biden. Biden had a lead, started to drop. Trump crisscrossed. Harris took over. August, September. It expands by, the lead of what's this? Maybe close to 3 points, 2 points, 2.5 points. And now has crisscrossed again right here at the end. And you can see that if you can see this blue section here on the bottom, this shows the momentum, How it went from nothing to everything to nothing for Harris, for the Democrats. Okay. Democrat versus Republican, we're basically a tie. We've crisscrossed again. The Republicans have just passed Democrats for the first time since, boy, what's this? Right on August 1st. Okay. So Republicans have caught the Democrats since August 1st, have passed the Democrats by. So let me take you through the Senate real quick. So you're totally up to date. Out in Ohio, Brown has a lead of now 1. Just 1. Pennsylvania, Casey, 1.6. That's a Democrat seat in Ohio, a Democrat seat in Pennsylvania. Montana is a Democrat seat, but you see Sheehy here has a 7-point lead. Again, no polls, not many polls. We don't know. It's going to be a tough race. Don't count the Democrats out there yet. Wisconsin, a Democrat seat. Baldwin has a lead of 1.8. Michigan, a Democrat seat. Slotkin has a comfortable lead here at 3. I shouldn't say comfortable, but comfortable versus some of the others. Arizona, Gallego, the Democrat, no problem, 6.1. Nevada, Rosen, Democrat, 4.9. So showing, again, West Virginia will be a flip. Will be a flip from Democrat, Manchin's old seat, to Republican. That's 1 seat. The Republicans are banking on Montana. And in my view, if I'm Republicans, I'm going after Ohio. I'm going after Ohio big time. I think Ohio will flip, but it's tough to take a sitting senator out. Going what, for 4th term? So, with all that, I think we're caught up on your state polls, your national polls, your congressional question. This day in history, just to give you a view of where we were, the states we used to talk about. And so now, going over the weekend, we're probably going to get, now what's been fascinating, how quiet have the Republican polls been? Where's insider advantage? Where's the Trafalgars? Where's Redfield? Where are they? Right? All those, they bombarded the polls for 2-3 weeks straight. And boy, has it been quiet for about 4 or 5 days. So I'm assuming they're going to come out again. And remember now, the polls are back. So we start Monday. It's going to probably tell us what happened Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, right today. So when I come back to you Monday, we're going to probably know where we were late in this week. Has Harris stopped Trump's momentum? That's number 1. Number 2 is, how do I regain a little more momentum? All right. We are caught up. Short show today, only 18 minutes after I kept you forever yesterday, 35 minutes. But let's get going. If we get bombarded with polls, I'll be with you. If not, I'll see you Monday. Take a break from politics, relax, take a breath. Your candidate may win, your candidate may lose. We're okay. Everything's going to be fine. I know that for sure. It doesn't seem like it sometimes, but you know what? Think about it for the past 3 years, right? We lived our life, last 4 years. We've all lived our life every single day. Just because it's a political season and a presidential race right now, we get all worked up. You'll be back to living your life for the next 4 years, no matter what happens. Okay? I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thanks for listening, watching, and I want everybody to have a great weekend. We'll take care. All right? We'll talk to you soon, guys.